Welcome back to the Global Local Top Tips, and today cinnamon scrolls. One of my favorite things to make. Something so satisfying about making a good cinnamon scroll. I'm going to show you my best recipe on how to do that today. Let's get stuck in. So to start off for cinnamon scrolls, I've got 500 grams of baker's flour or strong flour. And this is so simple and so quick, you're going to be kicking yourself when you find out how easy this is. To that flour, I'm going to add in 30 grams of dried yeast. You can also use fresh yeast. And I'm going to just give that a stir around just to make sure all the yeast is combined in there. To that, I'm going to add in 200 grams of white sugar. Now I've got 350 mils of warm milk. Just bringing it all together. And just clear off your spoon. Now, extra little bit of flour for dusting. And that straight out onto your table. And you just want that, every little bit of that bowl, so you don't waste anything. Perfect. And you don't be afraid of flour with this one. Quite a rich dough, so it'll work in quite well. And just bring it into a smooth shape. Again, back into that bowl. Straight back into our bowl. Glad wrap it. Let it brew for 40 minutes. So let's get our cinnamon scrolls finished up here. So I've got my dough, it's been resting for about 45 minutes. And just take it out of the bowl. And again, a little bit of flour in there. So we just don't waste any little bit. And we just want to knead it back again. You can feel that dough is changing every time you bear down on it. Work it in. Again, we'll do a test on it. Bounces up and it's ready to go. So if it didn't react that way, if you put your finger in there and it didn't bounce up at all, well, that means it needs more time to prove. If it bounced up completely and you couldn't see your finger mark, you need to give it a little bit more kneading. So we'll just roll it out here. It's such a really good dough to work with because it's forgiving. You don't have to keep rolling it one way, you can roll it any way you want. And it's easy to work. There you go. Next step, butter. And strangely enough, I like to use salted butter on this. I think it counteracts a little bit of the sweetness that we're putting in there. So we're just going to basically butter the dough. You don't want to be shy with this. It does help stick everything in there that we're going to put in. Now I'm going to make fruit cinnamon scrolls today, but you can also use apple, you can use cranberries, you can use whatever fruit you like. I like to use the mixed fruit. Let me just drizzle that in there. Again, I've got 150 grams of it here. Top of that, got 100 grams of brown sugar. So if I was going to put apple in here, I'd dice it about the same size as the fruit would be, so it would be cooked. You can put it in here raw. And what the brown sugar does, it almost caramelizes in there. Beautiful. And the main ingredient to a cinnamon scroll, of course, is cinnamon. And you want to be pretty generous with this because the flavor is diluted a little bit with all that other sugar and everything that's in there. Okay, now we just roll it up. So we bring it down and we squeeze it down. Look at that dough, how bouncy it is. Perfect. Bring it back and let's cut it into shape. So you want to cut them and push them down so you keep everything in there. Try and keep them all the same size. Perfect. So I've got my grease tray here, greaseproof paper and spray oil. So at this point, if you're turning your head, there's no way I could eat, 6, 7, 8 scrolls. This is the perfect time to freeze them. So individually wrap each one and into the freezer. Just be very, very careful with it. If you want to go to the extra trouble of putting it onto a tray first, like so, and then freezing them for an hour, so they're just starting to get hard, then take them out, then glad wrap them and put them back into the freezer. And then at any point you want cinnamon scrolls the next day, take them out the night before, put them in the fridge, and they'll start to prove up again and they'll be perfectly fresh. So let's get them on the tray here. In the oven, 20 minutes at 180. So our cinnamon scrolls are ready and they're looking good. So just gonna lift them off there and you can see all that brown sugar is caramelized. Oh, you can smell the cinnamon. Beautiful. Before we make a mess of our board, what we want to do is we just want to add just a touch of maple syrup. A good quality maple syrup. And that just brings all them flavors home. Straight onto our board. Try not to lose any of them. And you can see all that brown sugar is caramelized down the bottom there. Just finishing them up. A little bit of icing powder or icing sugar just on the top. If you enjoy our videos and you'd like to support us in the future, please consider joining our Patreon group. There's some awesome extras, Q&A sessions, our upcoming cookbooks, and some unseen videos. Again, we appreciate your support. Well, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please comment down below any videos you'd like to see in the future. Hit that like button, the subscribe button, and the bell icon. We'll see you soon.